everyone, my name is Max and I am here today to talk about 3 books I need to read per 3 months. So I don't really know how to word this, but it's pretty much just saying I'm going through October, November, and December, and I'm saying 3 books that I need to read per month. So let's just get into it because I have 9 books in this stack and I just want to talk about them. So first I'm going to go into October, and October is going to be a month where I'm trying to read some spooky, criminal mystery sort of books, and the first one is The Awakening of the Sunshine Girl by Paige Mackenzie. Now this is the book that I've had on my physical TBR for the longest. I have owned this for more than a year, maybe even much more than a year. I can't quite remember when I got this, but it has been on there for a long time. It was there even before I got the first one because my dad bought it for me, not realizing it was a sequel. And I read The Haunting of the Sunshine Girl back in March and I really enjoyed it. It is about a girl and her mother who move, and her mother gets possessed by a ghost. I did not think I would like that. That stuff terrifies me, but this is done so well. I really liked the first one, so I'm super excited to get into the second one. And then the next book that I want to pick up is the book that I've had second to longest on my physical TBR, and after I read this I will have read everything that I owned before this year, which I think is a big accomplishment for myself because some of these at the beginning of the year I really had for years and years and years. So I am so happy that I am busting through this, and now after this book I will have read all of the books that I owned before this year, and that is The Cabin by Natasha Preston. Now, my dad got this for me for Christmas, and this is a author who wrote a book called The Cellar on Wattpad. Now, I don't know if you guys have been on Wattpad, but I have. I wrote book stories on Wattpad. They're crap, even though one of them almost has 1 million reads. It's so bad. It is such an awful book or story, and I'm just like, why are people reading this? Because it is so bad. But this, I believe, is about a girl or a few girls who are kidnapped and locked in a cabin, which sounds terrifying. I am planning on reading this for Spookathon in October for the prompt Read a Thriller, and I think that this will be pretty terrifying. And then the third and last book I want to mention for the month of October is actually a book that I just picked up today, but I have wanted to read for a very long time, and that is This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. Now, I've read all of V.E. Schwab's books, and I have had a real love-hate relationship with her. I enjoyed Vicious, it wasn't my favorite. I enjoyed A Darker Shade of Magic, wasn't my favorite. I really didn't like Gathering of Shadows, and I loved A Conjuring of Light. But I have not read anything by Victoria Schwab. I've only read her adult fantasy. So I am really excited to see how this goes. I have heard by so many people that they absolutely love this duology. I like that it's a duology. I really like duologies. I'm like really in the mood for duologies because, you know, you get more world building and character development, but it all ends and wraps up nicely in 2 books, which is just fantastic. So I'm excited. This is about a city where there are monsters and humans, and we've got a girl who's a human but wants to be a monster, and we've got a boy who's a monster and wants to be a human, and they meet and they become friends. I know there's no romance in this, which is interesting, and I haven't read a whole lot of that, so I am pretty excited. And now getting into November, I'm more wanting to read the 3 big themes that I have going are sci-fi, dystopian, and short story collections, and I have one of each for what I'm going to be talking about. The first one for sci-fi is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. No, I have not read this trilogy yet. I'm super excited. I know it's a trilogy, but it's companion novels, like they all follow 2 different main characters, and I think this one is like Titanic meets Lost, where these 2 people are like out in space with a whole bunch of people, and then their spaceship crashes and they're the only survivors and they have to find their way to civilization. I have heard great things. It's been years since I've wanted to read this. I recently bought it though, and I am super excited. And then the next book, it was in the June Owl Crate get out alive, make it out alive, and that is The Sandcastle Empire by Kayla Olson. This is about a girl named Eden who is in this country that is like, post-apocalyptic, and it is ruled by the wolf pack, but there's one island that is not ruled by the wolf pack, and she knows the coordinates to get to it, and that is her getting to it. I've only heard one booktuber talk about it, and it was Heather from Bookables, and she enjoyed the beginning, but she really didn't like the ending, or like middle and end, so I'm hesitant going into it, but it is the only Owl Crate book that I've gotten that I have not read yet, and it is like weighing on my mind. I'm just like, Max, you gotta read it. And for some reason, I haven't. So this is going to be I'm gonna prolong it even longer and read this in November just because it's dystopian and it works. And then the next one is the first book I bought in 2017. So after The Awakening of Sunshine Girl and The Cellar, this will be the book that I have had on my TBR for the longest, and that is Tales from Shadowhunter Academy. I know, I haven't read it yet. I'm not gonna say who this is about, but it's after the events of The Mortal Instruments and before the events of The Dark Artifices. It's about one of our favorite characters, or at least one of my favorite characters, becoming a shadow hunter, pretty much. And it's just a huge collection of novellas, and it's huge. And I am planning on reading this over November break because my dad and his girlfriend are coming up to New York and picking me up, and we're gonna go see her family and my dad's family. It's gonna be this huge road trip, so I'm gonna have a lot of time to read. And I hear this goes by so fast, and they are short stories, so I always find the short stories go fast. So I'll probably be bringing a whole bunch of other books because it's gonna be like hours and hours and hours on end in cars, which I'm not totally looking forward to. But I need to get to this. I don't know why I haven't gotten to this yet, but I think it'll be perfect for November. And now I'm going into December. December is kind of a mismatch of like everything that I will not have read until December, because I'm trying to finish all of the books on my physical TBR. Probably won't happen. I was like really ambitious, but now I'm looking at all the books that I have, and even though September was such a fantastic reading month for me, I just don't think I'll be able to finish all the books. But these three are definitely ones that I want to get to. The first one is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is just, I don't really know a whole lot. Reading the summary, it's about like a group of friends in high school, and it really reminds me of Dead Poets Society, which I loved. The movie was just fantastic, and I absolutely adored The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I read it in March. It is now my favorite book of all time. It was so fantastic, so I really hope that I enjoy some of her other stuff. Then the next book is actually a reread for me, and it is the second reread of the year. I am currently rereading The Odyssey for class, so this will be my first reread and probably only reread of the year. That is a book that I just chose for fun, and that is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. If you don't know what The Book Thief is, where have you been in life? This is about a girl named Liesel who is adopted and in Germany during Nazi occupation, and her family starts harboring a Jew, and it's just so fantastic. It is heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, beautiful. It's just a fantastic book. This was the first book I ever cried when reading. I read it in like 8th grade, and my best friend had lent it to me, and I called her and like yelled at her for making me read this because it was so heartbreaking, but I absolutely loved it, and I am so excited to read it again. And the last book that I need to get to this year, and I don't really know why I need to get to it. It's not like the book that has been on my TBR for the longest. I got it in like June, but I just want to read it really badly because I planned on reading it in June, was Ever the Hunted by Erin Summerall. This is a Snow White retelling about a girl whose father is killed, and she is found poaching on the king's land, but she makes a deal that she will be pardoned if she can find her father's killer. And I did a chapter of retelling, so like I had like 5 retellings left on my June TBR, and so I wanted to try a chapter to see which one I was going to read next, and this just gave off such wintry vibes. I think that it like actually snows, like there's snow on the ground, and the writing is so like melodic that I think it'll be perfect for December to just curl up in bed and it's cold outside and read this. So I'm excited. I've said this about like every book, but I am. These books, the reason why they are the top 9 books I need to get to is because I am excited to read every single one of them. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. If you see in all of my TBRs that I don't talk about these books, which I will, So it's a little bit later, but my roommate came in, so I had to cut it short, and I wasn't able to do a sign off. So I hope you enjoyed, everyone, and I will see you next time with another video. Thanks for watching. Bye!